Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you how to descale your Keurig K-Cafe Essentials. In this video I'm going to be using distilled white vinegar. You can use just regular white vinegar. I'm also going to do a separate video on how to use the Keurig descaling solution. So on the side of the Keurig we've got this descale light. This descale light is going to illuminate after 250 brews. No matter how dirty your Keurig is on the inside, that light comes on automatically after 250 brews. Now you have to put the machine into a special descale mode in order to get that light to go out. We've got to run that descale mode from start to finish, so the logic inside will turn that light off. So here I've got the manual that came with it. It talks about the descaling procedure, which I'm going to show you how to do that. But there's also, they added this extra. To disable the descale notification, power off the brewer and press and hold the 10 and 12 ounce button for 3 seconds. So if you don't want that descale light to come on after 250 brews, you can disable that. And so the way you disable it is plug it in. It'll power off after 5 minutes, so make sure that it's plugged in but there's no lights illuminated. Okay, so with it powered off but plugged in, you're going to hold the 10 and 12 ounce for 3 seconds and see how the lights come on and then go off. So the strong light, that light came on and then went off. That's how it confirms that that descale light is disabled now. So say you want to turn that back on, just repeat the procedure and then the shot light will come on. So let's hold the 10 and 12. And the shot light came on. See, the shot light came on and went off? Now that descale light will come on after 250 brews. This was not putting the machine in descale mode. This was showing you how you can disable that descale light. This is something new Keurig has started to do. I've not seen this feature on any of the other Keurigs. Okay, so let's go ahead and descale it with vinegar. First, as always, make sure there's no K-cup in here. We're going to leave this empty and close the lid. Second thing is your water reservoir. Go ahead and take your water reservoir off. If you have a tall handle water filter, remove it. Leave it off until you're completely finished with this procedure. And we're going to empty out whatever water you have in here, empty it out. Okay, so next we're going to add the water and vinegar to the reservoir to get our proper ratio. Here I've got the straight vinegar poured up to the 14 ounce mark, which is approximately 2 cups. So 2 cups of straight vinegar, you're going to pour in there. Get the same amount, 14 ounces or 2 cups of just pure water, and we're going to put it in there. So if you don't have a measuring cup, it's right about there on the reservoir. And then now we're going to put the fresh water in. This can be just regular tap water. That's all the water and vinegar we're going to add. Okay, so since we opened up that Keurig lid, these lights are flashing. We cannot do anything until those lights turn off. This unit will turn off automatically after 5 minutes. It needs to stay plugged in. Wait for those lights to turn off. Now you're going to need a container that can hold some hot water, because what's going to happen is that vinegar and water is going to run through the machine to clean out the inside of the machine where the heating element is. Okay, so that took 5 minutes. You got to make sure those lights are not flashing. That means the unit's powered down but plugged in. So you're going to hold the 12 and the 8 ounce together for 3 seconds. Okay, see how the descale light is flashing now? And the 12 ounce light is flashing. So when those start flashing, let up on the buttons. Now we're going to hit the 12 ounce button. That's going to start running the vinegar and water through the machine. Okay, so it's going to run about 14 ounces through on the first time, but we got to keep hitting this 12 ounce. See how the descale light is still flashing and the 12. Empty this out and then hit the 12 ounce button again. That's going to continue to run that vinegar and water through the machine. We need to keep doing that until the add water light comes on. The add water light has to come on so that the logic board inside will go to the fresh water rinse. If your add water light does not come on, it will not turn the descale light off. So if your add water light doesn't come on, I recommend unplugging it, starting it all over from the very beginning, and you can just use water this time instead of vinegar. But we're going to keep hitting the 12 ounce button until the add water light comes on. And over here on my reservoir side, you can see, so it might come on after this one. The add water light will come on even if the water will be right about here. Now don't run your brewer dry. Keep an eye on this reservoir. If your add water light doesn't come on, it's going to keep sucking this down, and it's going to suck air into there, and your heating element could burn up if you suck in air into your Keurig. So keep an eye on this. If your add water light doesn't come on, stop what you're doing. Okay, so it's finishing up on the second one. So the add water light has not come on yet. Okay, so pause. It took just a minute. I was originally going to hit that 12-ounce button again. It stopped flashing. The add water light did come on. It didn't come on right away. Give it about 10-20 seconds, and then the add water light does come on. This is a very important step in the procedure. So now I'm going to add water. This is also an important procedure. You may want to let the unit cool for about 10 to 15 to 20 minutes. So just don't do anything. Leave it sit here in descale mode. Let the unit cool inside. There's a heating element in there. We don't want to overheat that heating element. It could cause it to fail. And whatever you do at this stage, don't lift the lever. Don't touch any of the buttons. You are going to come over here to the reservoir. Take the reservoir off. It's got some vinegar and water in there. Dump that out. Fill it up to the max line with fresh water. Okay, so I washed out the inside of this with soap and water, and then I filled it and rinsed it really well. Now I filled it up with just fresh water. Okay, so what you're going to notice is whenever you fill that water tank up with water, the add water light needs to go out. Your descale light is flashing, and now your 12-ounce button is flashing. Now these are called fresh water rinses. Go ahead and press the 12-ounce. It's going to now run that fresh water through the machine to clean out that vinegar. Again, it's going to run about 14 ounces. That water coming out is very hot. Okay, so it just finished up running this through. We're still in descale mode, and the 12-ounce is still flashing. So I'm going to go empty that and push it again. Okay, so press the 12-ounce button. Again, we're going to do this. We're going to keep repeating this until the descale light goes out. Okay, so after the third one, you heard like a relay click. That light went out and the descale light went out. Your machine just shuts off. That's how you know you're done and you're out of descale mode. So now let's open it up. And again, your lights come on, that powers it on. Your descale light should be off, but your add water light's going to be on. So if we look over here, there's still some water in here. I'm going to fill this up. I'm ready to use it. If you still have a little bit of vinegar taste, you can just do fresh water rinses at this point. Just make sure there's no cake up in here. Close the lid. Do a couple 12-ounce brews into a coffee mug and dump it out. That'll just make sure all of the vinegar is out, but you may not have to do that. So descaling your Keurig machine helps if your coffee's not as hot as it used to be, if it's not tasting as good as it used to be. If your machine's getting really loud, descaling can really help that. So here's what a heating element looks like in another Keurig. It's got a really small aluminum tube that heats the water, so hard water can build up in there and clog that off. Descaling this every so often is going to remove those hard water deposits to let your heating element heat your water more efficiently. So I get this question a lot. Do you prefer using the Keurig descaling solution or the vinegar? So the vinegar is going to be a cheaper alternative. The descaling solution can be a little expensive. I do think it works a little better. The Keurig solution is citric acid, and it seems to be odorless and it works a little bit better. This one does stink a little bit when it goes through your machine, and sometimes it takes a couple extra fresh water rinses to get the vinegar out, but this one seems to flush out a lot easier, and I think it does do a better job cleaning on the inside. I'm also going to do a video on how to clean the needles on this Keurig machine. I've got lots of videos on how to make different drinks with the milk frother. It works very well. And also how to put the machine into high altitude mode, or if your machine is in high altitude mode, how to take it out of high altitude mode. Thanks everybody for watching. If you could, please like and subscribe.